Danish cities are growing fast, challenging those cities to the limits.
Copenhagen is an expanding city. We get more and more inhabitants in the city of Copenhagen, and that gives us certain issues with air quality, pollution, traffic management, garbage collection.
Cities are facing unprecedented challenges, environmental, social, economic. And obviously at this point, we'll need highly disruptive, innovative solutions and smart city strategies to solve some of them.
Copenhagen is going to be a CO2 neutral city by 2025. So we have very ambitious climate goals. We are using these smart city technologies in order to achieve some of the climate goals. So actually modern data-driven technology can make us better reach the targets.
Greater Copenhagen made a bold move and digitized to become a more sustainable city more quickly.
We're very proud of the deployments to date in Greater Copenhagen. One in the Denmark Outdoor Light Lab at Dahl. The other one is Street Lab in downtown Copenhagen.
When you're a city and you're planning to be a smart city, you need to work together with the companies that have a vision for the future.
The collaboration between us as a city and the private partners has been extremely close. It has been formed as a public-private partnership, meaning that we've been working on it as a joint venture actually.
The knowledge that each of the partners have really made it possible for us to think of new creative solutions and as well to test these solutions in real life because of the fact that the city gave us part of the city to show the technologies and test them.
We have covered the whole city with Wi-Fi. And what we use the Wi-Fi for is that we take all the different use cases and we use the Wi-Fi as a backbone of the smart city, if you can say so.
As part of our Street Lab, we are building public accessible Wi-Fi especially targeted towards tourists. So visitors to Copenhagen in the future will be able to log on for free on our city Wi-Fi and to obtain the necessary information.
Putting up a sensor in waste bins, which will actually help you detect which bins are full, which are half full, which are empty.
The benefit of that is actually route management and making sure that they have the optimal route.
And can thereby save time and money.
If you take an old lighting system and you replace it with an LED-based system with an intelligent management system at top, you can reduce your energy consumption with around 75% or something like that.
Smartening up outdoor light. There's a lot of energy to be saved, a lot of money to be saved by making outdoor light more dynamic. No traffic at 4 a.m., why don't you dim the lights? If any movement is detected on the streets or the highways, you put the lights back up. If you know that outdoor light is one of the biggest energy expenditures of a city, you can see how much of a difference this can make.
Already we have about 4 stations for the monitoring of air quality. These are quite large container sites actually. That makes it difficult to get a lot of data points on air quality. We're trying now to mount sensor devices instead, so on the size of an iPad. That gives us much more data on the air quality of the city.
With the new technology, we can make them very, very cheap and small. We can put them up everywhere, so we can get a real-time map showing the quality of air for the whole city. For example, if you're on a bike, you're going home for work, you can see which route shall I choose where there's less pollution. So when you have an emergency vehicle, for example, you can make a green wave. You can even do it in a way that the driver is able to, you can say, create his own green wave through the city.
In Copenhagen, we're actually planting 100,000 new trees during the next couple of years. We're using sensor technologies in order to monitor these trees to ensure that they get sufficient water and sufficient nourishment. By monitoring the trees via sensor technology, we can actually make more efficient route planning. We can save resources only going to the trees that needs actually to be watered. So in StreetLab right now, we are testing smart parking. Smart parking is a way of handling the parking situation in Copenhagen. So we want to know whether a parking space is free or if it's taken, and we want the citizens to be able to get that information via, for instance, an app.
You can actually guide people to their parking spot, pre-reserve it, book it, pay for it, all in a seamless way. You're going to make that inner city traffic a whole lot more efficient. That's less carbon dioxide emissions, that's less gasoline utilized. So it makes a ton of sense to actually deploy these type of solutions.
I think within a short while we'll see the solutions scale to greater Copenhagen, but as well to the rest of the country. And even if we look at the smaller cities around Denmark, I believe a lot of those cities will benefit from this type of solution as well.
What Copenhagen does uniquely well is having that environmental angle to the deployments. Air quality sensing, waste sensing, water-related solutions.
So by applying smart city solutions, we can actually increase the life quality of Copenhageners. We can decrease traffic jams, we can decrease the amount of litter in the streets and make basically the city more livable.
It's all about livability. It's all about making cities easy to live in.
Copenhagen has become one of the smart city leaders in the world.
So this is very exciting, and we really believe that the rest of the world could learn a lot from this, and we expect this to be copied to cities around the world.